Today we go back to the Computex 2023 and revisit the ANTEX booth in terms of a new product that I promised that I'm going to review in last couple of ANTEC products, right? So this right here is their new power supply, in those terms as a new, well, not a new series, but more wattage and different connections. This is the ANTEX NeoECO NE1000G M 80 plus gold, fully modular, and it has a 12V HPWR cable. What does it have and everything else? Let's check it out. So it's more like a compact power supply when we're talking about 1000 watts and fully modular and everything that I mentioned so far, because the height is 86, the length is 140 millimeters, and this is the most crucial part, because the length is the part where it's most important for the power supply shroud compartment and the cable management down there. So yeah, you do need to take that into consideration as well, because 1-2 centimeters could make a loads of difference if you have a hard drive cage in the power supply shroud compartment, just for more space for the cable management, right? But okay, now we have ATX 3.0 ready, PCIe 5.0 ready. It has high quality JP capacitors which can achieve tight voltage regulation, low ripple and noise to maximize the performance, right? Then we have phase wave design, which is a server class LLC design with a synchronous rectification based on a DC-DC topology. 99% plus 12 volts output for maximum CPU and GPU support. Circuit shield, well, we have some industrial grade protections like OCP, OVP, UVP, SCP, OPP, OTP, SIP and NLO. Then we have 120mm fluid dynamic bearing silent fan, which is quite outstanding, because at the back where you plug your wall socket to your power supply, you have a hybrid mode button, which comes in handy if there's not that much load. So what happens is, it's a 0 RPM manager, or so they say, which has an advanced low voltage fan control with the fan off mode at low loads for absolute silence. I mean, that's quite cool. I've seen power supplies that actually have fans still spinning at 800 RPMs at, I don't know, 8-9 decibels. But this is also cool. I mean, it doesn't start to spin unless there is a certain load, and then it starts quite slowly spinning up. And if it's really needed at high loads, it spins up as it should. That's outstanding. And finally, we have 10 years of ANTEC quality warranty. So this is really good because, well, now manufacturers are giving 10 years warranty. I've seen some 7, 5, even low 3 years. But this giving a 10-year warranty for a 80 plus gold power supply is quite nice. So all in all, what we have right here when we're talking about the connections, we have on the power supply, we have one 18 pin and one 10 pin for your motherboard, which turns into 24 pin. Then we have 4 connections for your peripherals, and after that we have one 12V HPWR connection and the 6 CPU or PCIe connections, 8 pin of course. But when we're talking about the cables, so here we go, one 24 pin cable for your motherboard. We have one 16 pin PCIe 5.0 12V HPWR, 2 8 4 plus 4 pin CPU connectors, 4 8 or 6 plus 2 pin PCIe connectors, 12 SATA connectors and 4 Molecs. Now this is the build that I used this power supply for, and you'll most likely hear it again in that video because I have to cover that as well, since we have some interesting stuff to talk about, if I already didn't cover, depending on, since I'm going to Gamescom now and we have loads of prepared videos just in case, so you have content while I'm off. And I can't show you the power supply anyway different, except from the close-ups, and well, it's in this build. It's powering up AMD Ryzen 9 7900 X3D and PNY GeForce RTX 4080 Virtual Epic X RGB. It did outstanding when we're talking. I mean, I can't measure anything with this except maybe use some telemetry from some software inside, but regardless to that, I'll have to do that for the next power supply overview and more details, so I could give you some more info about it, and not just an overview that, well, basically an unboxing and overview, because this isn't a review, just giving you more information and giving you notification that this is available to buy now, since it wasn't before, right? All in all, quite cool smaller ATX power supply, which brings us to the point that you have more space right here in the PSU compartment. Outstanding, right? Quite nice and quite easy to do the cable management. The cables are quite flexible, and I do have to mention that because you can easily reroute them. There's no additional how do you say those connections when we're talking about thermal isolation because of the connection part, whatever. You can bend them at the top. And this is really good for you guys that don't have custom sleeved cables here, and you can do that properly just in case you don't have those cables, and it can look nice. The PCI, for instance, if you're still using the RTX 2000, 3000 series or Radeon cards, newer or older, you can use their PCIe connectors, the 8-pin ones, 6+2, just the way they are, because they're straight, flexible, and you can nicely pop them inside your graphic card without any issues, and they will look quite clean. I do have to say, there's no additional 6+2 hanging out, and yeah, that's it. So guys, as already stated, overview and introduction to the ANTEC NeoECO NE1000G M power supply, 80 plus gold. You can check the links in the description if you're interested in something like this, getting more into let's say affordable segment, but still quite interesting power supply. And I'll leave it at that. Finally, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and click the notification bell so don't miss any, of course, future content when we're talking about ANTEC, right? So guys, thanks, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye.